Hello everyone, my name is Wraith and I'm back with episode 4 of my mini-series for Dragonstorm Commanders. Today I chose Temur, and for Temur I chose Eshki, Temur's Roar. Eshki is a solid 3-drop. She is a 2-2, but she has a line of text that does some pretty incredible things. So pretty much this is going to be a big baddies deck where we're playing some big creatures and we're trying to get as much value off Eshki as possible. So our main focus is to cast creature spells with power 4 or 6. Those are going to get us the most value. So for this, we're going to need as much mana ramp as possible. We are going to be using some sorceries to fetch us some lands, but we want the majority of our ramp to be creatures, so we can get some extra procs off Eshki. So Savala, Somberwald Sage, Gwenna, Fanatic of Ronus, Elvish Mystic, Finhorn Elves. These are some great pieces that we can add to get us ramp in the early game. Once we have our board set up, we have to discuss the bombs that we'll be dropping on the table. So the first 3 that I've chosen are thematic and from the Temur clan, so they're going to mesh very nicely with Eshki. The first one is Ureni, the Song of Unending. Ureni is a freaking bomb. For 8 mana you get a 10/10 flying, and it has pro white and black. And when it enters, it deals X damage divided as you choose to any number of creatures and planeswalkers your opponents control, where X is the number of lands you control. So this is just like a double whammy with Eshki. You're getting 2 damage procs in 1. Next up would be Sirach Dragonclaw. Sirach is a great card, and it's going to keep our creatures from being countered, and it also gives other creatures trample, so that's going to be nice with Eshki. Third up would be Dragonlord Atakra. Dragonlord Atakra is an oldie but a goodie, and it's going to proc when it enters, dealing 5 damage as we choose divided to any number of creatures or planeswalkers our opponents control. There are 3 other bombs I'd like to mention: Apex Devastator, Maelstrom Wanderer, and Trumpeting Carnosaur. Eshki will count the Cascade triggers and Discover trigger, so we're just getting a double tap when we play these. We could get a massive turn where there's just tons of damage being dealt. These are bombs that we just can't pass up. Next up, I want to discuss some instants and sorceries. With access to blue, we have some great options to protect our board. So first up would be Stubborn Denial. This one, for 1 mana, can counter a non-creature spell if we control a creature 4 or greater. This is a great option for keeping us safe. Second would be An Offer You Can't Refuse. This is similar, but will give our opponents 2 treasure tokens. But in Commander, that's really not a bad price to pay when we're countering something that could potentially remove all of our pieces. Next up would be Smuggler Surprise. This is a great modal use card. Typically, we're always going to choose the creatures you control gain hexproof and indestructible, but you do have those other 2 options if needed. And then Heroic Intervention. This is a staple for creature states and creature boards. It's going to keep us safe, give us hexproof and indestructible. And then finally, Chandra's Ignition. This is a great way to close out the game, especially if we have Eshki with a whole bunch of counters on it. We just cast this and then knock out our opponents. I'm going to finish this up today with some artifacts and enchantments. The first artifact I chose was Herd Heirloom. This gives us a tapping ability to add 1 mana of any color only to cast a creature spell. It also has a second tapping ability that gives target creature power 4 or greater trample, and when it deals damage, draw a card. This is solid, and we'll probably see this added to a lot of mono green and Gruul decks moving forward. Next will be Dragon Fireblade. For 1 mana to cast it, the equipped creature gets +2/+2 and hexproof from monocolored. So protection from Swords, Plowshares, Path to Exile. And then if we're targeting Eshki, it'll only cost 1 mana, so definitely a solid include. And then for the enchantments, I had to keep it thematic, so Frostcliff Siege. This is amazing. For 3 mana, we choose one of 2 options. Either we're going to draw a card when a creature deals damage, or on combat, we're going to give a creature +1, haste, and trample. Last but not least, Temur Ascendancy. This will give all of our creatures haste, and whenever a creature with power 4 or greater enters, we will draw a card. So the majority of our creatures will be gaining value and will have haste when they enter, so we have to add this one. Alright, that's going to wrap us up today. Thank you very much for watching. Eshki is just a big ol' stompy commander. She's small, but over the course of the game she could get massive and just annihilate the entire table. If you enjoyed this video, please consider liking it and subscribing to the channel. I'll be back with some more content very soon.